Community is an American sitcom created by Dan Harmon that ran for 5 seasons from 2009 to 2014, with the 6th season being made for the now very dead streaming service Yahoo Screen, Seasons 1 to 3 being some of the best sitcom content on television, Season 4 being mediocre for many reasons, and Seasons 5 and 6 being amazing additions while also being vastly underrated. This is my favorite sitcom of all time, and here's why. Community is about Jeff Winger, a former lawyer that has to attend Greendale Community College after his firm finds out that his degree was fake. He gets the hots for a classmate in his Spanish class called Britta and forms a fake study group to get with her that accidentally turns into a group of the 7 of the school's most lovable outcasts and misfits. Jeff, Britta, Abed, Troy, Shirley, Annie, and Pierce. Throughout the show, Jeff tries to use his lawyer powers to manipulate the group so he can get what he wants, but slowly realizes that it just won't work here, and this is where one of Community's greatest strengths over other sitcoms shines. Jeff is constantly getting caught and called out for his manipulative tendencies, forcing him to learn how to become a better person. This makes Jeff change and grow over time, and by the time the series is over, he's not the same person he was at the beginning at all. Usually sitcoms change the characters a little bit, but they don't really change in any drastic ways. By the end of Friends, Joey is still basically the same Joey he was at the beginning. Maybe he developed a little bit, but he still has basically the same personality. By the end of Community, Jeff is a completely different man, and it's almost unrecognizable from his original self in Season 1. And all of the other characters grow and change throughout the series, and by the end, they're almost completely different people too. But that's not where my praise for this show ends. I truly believe that Community is one of the most unique sitcoms in the history of sitcoms. Community is a very experimental show, always trying out something new, whether it be an entire episode in stop motion, a Pulp Fiction setup that then turns into a dinner with Audrey, or a war documentary and a massive pillow fight. The show is always looking for pop culture and genres to reference and pay elaborate homages to, but they don't just make a simple parody and call it a day. They take it a step further with 2 main elements. The first is the character Abed, which is my favorite character in the whole show. Abed is autistic and uses TV and movies to understand the world around him. He'll quote and reference almost any movie or show you can think of constantly, and he'll view life as a TV show, constantly referencing and pointing out tropes, cliches, and plot points. He's basically a way for the show to be meta and peek over the fourth wall, but never actually break it. Then the show could leave it at that. They can make Abed a one-dimensional character only there to reference TV shows and movies, with the occasional meta comment. But they take it a step further by developing his character even more, making plot points about all parts of Abed's personality, his feeling of alienation due to him not fitting in, his trouble understanding other people's emotions, and lots of other things, leading him to become what I would call the heart of Community as a whole. And obviously, I have to mention that he's part of one of the best dynamic duos ever. The second element is what Dan Harmon likes to call conceptual episodes. These episodes always have a gimmick or concept that strays from the norm of a typical sitcom, whether it be from venturing into alternate timelines or making a Christmas special entirely stop motion. These episodes try something new, some of them paying homage to a genre or film. This makes Community so unique that you really never know what you're gonna get next. But since it's Community, it takes it one step further than just a mere parody. Conceptual episodes use the genre and concept that they're working with, dive deeper into the characters and explode them. Like that Christmas special I mentioned. They didn't just make it stop motion because they thought it would be cool for a Christmas special. Turns out that it's stop motion because... You know what? I'll just let this clip show you.
My mom's Polish. She loves Christmas. Every year, she visits on the same day, December 9th. And every year, we sit and watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, together.
But Abed, today is December 9th.
Yeah, that can't be right. She comes every year. Today must be December 8th. She comes every year.
These gimmicks always have a reason behind them, and it always ties into the characters. And that's my next point, characters. The show uses what would be considered stereotypical character tropes and adds a twist to them. Jeff being the good-looking lawyer who can convince anyone with his words, but also having issues with his father and worrying obsessively about how everyone views him.
My jacket, you're stretching it! You're stretching it!
Britta being a huge political activist, but also a huge buzzkill and pretty much bad at everything.
How do you pronounce bagel?
I don't.
Come on.
Bagel.
Ugh, you're the worst.
Annie being a straight-A perfect student, but also having recently recovered from a pill addiction in her past, and moments where she straight up loses it and goes insane. Shirley being the Christian housewife, but also being divorced and having very big anger issues. Troy being the typical self-obsessed jock, but also growing to let his childish side out and be best friends with Abed.
It's not a meteor, it's a cookie one!
And Pierce, the old man with a ton of wisdom. That's also very racist, sexist, and homophobic, and struggles to see his own prejudices. All of these characters take what would be stereotypical and sort of overused tropes and twist them on their heads. Choi and Abed's friendship is one of the biggest highlights of the show because of how genuine but also chaotic it can be, and it really emphasizes Choi's change as a character and just how well the characters are written. And later on, Annie will join in too. You might expect her to tone Choi and Abed down since she's always trying to be organized and normal, but nope, she does the complete opposite by basically doubling the chaos.
We're in big trouble. We have to do something. Oh, I don't know what to do. My whole brain is crying.
Now this might seem out of character on paper, but watching the show, it fits so well because the interactions with the characters feel so believable. Everything the characters do, as absurd as it may be, somehow manages to stay in character, even when they're in G.I. Joe, fighting a massive paintball war, or playing Dungeons & Dragons. Now, this is the point in the video where I would usually continue talking for 5 hours because there's so much to love about this show. And all of this pays a price to the whole show except Season 4. I might make videos in each of the seasons, including that oddball of a Season 4 in a later date. But who knows? This is a school assignment and I have to keep this under 5 minutes, so I hope I manage to convince someone to watch the show. It truly is very special. But as of now, I'll see you another time.